Okay, we are live. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Those are just coming on, or if you're going to watch this later, this is the Immortals After Dark read along. We are almost at the end. I can't believe we've done it. I'm so lucky that Helen has stuck with me this whole time. Otherwise, it'd just be me here talking. So thank you, Helen. But yeah, I'm like, oh, this is kind of sad. We're going to be all caught up. And then now we're going to just have to wait forever for like Nyx and all the people we're waiting for. But yeah, so this one we have Shadow Seduction and Wicked Abyss. I will be straight up, like we're probably not going to talk about Shadow Seduction a ton because it was a novella. It was really quick, and I honestly didn't write any notes about it. I don't have a ton to say about it. So we'll just briefly talk about Shadow Seduction, and then we'll dive, I think, a lot more into Wicked Abyss. Yeah. So as you're coming on, let us know if you've read these books, how you rated them, what you thought. But first up, it's Shadow Seduction. So I'm not even going to do the banners for it, but I'm just going to bring this up. So Helen, what did you rate Shadow Seduction?
So I rated it 3.5 stars, but it was definitely the weakest in the series so far.
Yeah.
It
wasn't I didn't like the first Shadow one, but
yeah. It wasn't badly written. It wasn't badly written, but it was just not as good as the others.
Yeah, it kind of felt like I already was like kind of like whatever about Caspian or whatever, but it was like we barely even knew. I think it's at Mercio, Prince Mercio, so he's kind of barely mentioned, and then we have his like romance, and I don't know, it just didn't fully connect for me, like their connection, like the obsession that he had with Caspian, the like kind of gay for you instead of it being like fully like to me from Caspian's side. I mean, there were some really good spicy scenes. I appreciated those. But I just didn't really connect with the characters like her other books. So I didn't really care about the scenes. And I am like an girly. I find sex scenes a million times hotter than just regular sex scenes for some reason. I love them. So, I mean, while it got really spicy, I liked seeing, there was a couple things where you like seeing the side characters and certain things like that, but it kind of just felt like it was thrown in there. Like maybe she didn't know what she wanted to do with the next book yet. So she did this quick little novella or something. So, I mean, it didn't really feel like it added anything to the overall plot too, like that's been ongoing. And I think part of the reason I rated it 3.5, by the way, too. And I think that was kind of nice. Like, I think I left it at like 3 and then put it 3.5 because I didn't hate it. But I was annoyed. I like ended up using a credit for this one, and it's like such a short like novella, but like I just think it was even more of a letdown because of how I felt about Sweet Ruin. So it's like you go from Sweet Ruin to like this. I'm like, that had so much stuff going on with. So obviously we can't continue all this heavy plot stuff that a lot came together in that book. But that was a 6-star book for me to go from that to this. But I didn't have high expectations for this one because I didn't love the first Shadows one.
Yeah. I mean, I felt the same. The reason it was 3.5 stars was it was an okay story. It was enjoyable, but it was probably the spiciest one of the series so far in terms of quantity of spice scenes, right? And there wasn't much backstory or plot, so we didn't see a lot. Although the other characters were mentioned and it was like part of the world, we didn't really see a lot of progression in the overall storyline, which is where for me it fell down because we're so far into the series, right? We're so far into the plot, and it just, like you said, it felt like just like a side story that she wrote that didn't. I mean, you could have easily skipped this one, and you wouldn't. If you missed this one and never read it, you would miss nothing from the overall.
Yeah, we definitely tell people, like, if you don't want to get this one, you don't have to. It's definitely something you could skip. I think it is keying up towards what's going to happen with, like, Mercio's sister and stuff. So I thought that stuff was interesting. I was like, okay, so we're cluing into like what that whole plot line is going to be. So, but I mean, I don't know if that when that's happening. I think one of the most recent books, maybe the most recent book has, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's the most recent one, the book 21 what we read in December. It's her story. Because that's another Shadows book, right? Because it's kind of now there's a theme because we had Shadows, I can't remember, Shadows Claim, and this is Shadows Seduction, and then we're going to get Shadows Heart, right?
I don't even remember what that one is. I know it's the last one we're reading.
They're all the Dacians, basically. The Dacian
yeah. So I mean, you could definitely skip it because it's like honestly, like you're gonna get to know what's gonna go on in that book, anyways. I think. I was excited that she was doing an MM, but I just wanted a little bit more from it. So that's kind of, I mean, I don't even know if I have anything else to say about it. Like, it was just okay. It was a smutty little novella, like Immortals After Dark. So, I mean, I think it's probably like got the lowest when I was looking at Goodreads. It's got the average rating is 3.98 out of 5, which is, I think, maybe it's like the lowest one. I don't know for sure. I haven't looked at all of them, but I think it's kind of one that people are just kind of about. Like, it's not really a huge, exciting thing for that. So, so I guess that's it. That's all we're gonna say about Shadows Seduction. We wrapped that one up in like 5 minutes. There we go. But yeah, so I think it's definitely skippable. I hope this next month we have like that witch one that's a novella. I hope that one's not like one that's just whatever too. But I'm gonna get it. So I'm reading them all.
Yeah, we're reading them all. We're going to the end.
So now we're going to Wicked Abyss, which this one was really interesting. I think it took us to so many different places, and I mean, I think Helen really loved this one. So I'm gonna ask, what did you rate Wicked Abyss?
So I love this one, and it's my 5-star read. So this is, I mean, I don't have 6-star ratings, so 5 stars is as high as I'll go, and this is the highest rating I've given to any book. So, I mean, Lothair was pretty close. Sweet Ruin was very, very close. I was teetering on the edge of 5 stars, but I just love this one, and it was all for the Beauty and the Beast vibes for me.
I was gonna say, I think you love the Beauty and Beast retellings, so I think this was like right up your alley. Of like what you love.
Yeah, I just loved it. What about you?
I actually rated it 5 stars too. I was kind of most of the book sitting on like a 4-star, but like all the stuff that happened at the end and like what the female character, how badass she became and like her kind of arc, I was like, okay, like this is really good. Like it really picked up, and was exciting and adding in a bunch of different stuff. So it ended up being a 5-star for me once we got to that. I really, really enjoyed it. I liked the Hades Persephone vibes. I liked all like the Disney character type of vibes along with Beauty and the Beast retelling, but like kind of like the Maleficent type of thing too. I felt like there was just like really, and then the fact that she's like, I think Presley, like when she had her hiding like at Disney World as a Disney princess, I thought it was funny. So I was really excited for his character because I thought he was great, and like in Sweet Ruin and all of that, I was like, oh, who's this guy? And then you remembered in Shadow Seduction when he was like, his brother was killed. Was it Trahan? Is that what that guy's name was? He was killed by Trahan, and then now he had to take over Hell, and all of a sudden he was this gorgeous guy turning beastly. And I love a beast, and so I really loved those parts of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see here. Okay. So I thought this was interesting too because of the world building with all the stuff going on because we were introduced, I think, to the Fey King also, is it Seth or I can't remember. I know I spelled his name wrong, but
It's
anyways, he was
Sapien, isn't
Ruin's
it?
like half brother or something that like he and Sweet Ruin, he had like damaged that sword or
Yeah.
whatever. So we were already introduced to him, but like to see like how he banished her as like a child for what her parents did. So it was a very interesting like backstory to everything going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting getting to see kind of like the phase and more of that backstory, more of those characters too.
Mm-hmm. I really like the way it started as well, because it was like Nick telling the story around the campfire, so people
Yeah.
are almost around, and she's telling this story, and almost like the prologue is this story that Nix is telling. Then it goes into the main story, and then even at the end we get this like epilogue where Nix is like, oh, and so the prince
Yeah.
king live happily ever after style. And I thought even that was very fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's tell you
She was really doing a lot with like Disney fairy tale
yeah,
retelling, like
yeah.
putting like her Immortals After Dark spin on that. And I really liked it. Like there were so many little like Easter eggs to
Mm-hmm.
like Disney and different things that I really liked it. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what I was gonna think. At first I was like very irritated because when you hear what happens to him with his original woman, I don't remember what her name was,
I don't
but
know.
his original like fated mate. And I was like, this bitch like completely done him wrong. And I thought like there's got to be more. Maybe she didn't really.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
there was a
felt like
miscommunication. No, she was just horrible.
yeah, because it felt like she was manipulating him, and then she turned on him, and
Mm-hmm.
then I felt like there was going to be some story there, like she'd done it to save his life, or there was something
Yeah, that's what I
reason.
kept waiting for. And then it was like, no,
Yeah, didn't happen.
she's just horrible. So like I really okay, so like the whole setup too to like her being kicked out and then Seth and like Nyx go to her and be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well I'll bring you back home if you go to your fated mate, and like
Mm-hmm.
Nyx wants her to kind of spy because of the Morior and all that. So I thought that was fun. And then I loved that Sabine. We got to see Sabine and Lanthe, and they like kidnap her and kind of trade her because of all this. So it's like it ties in so many of like what's going on in the
Mm-hmm.
other books because of the Rechners having to like be in his
Yeah,
like yeah. So it's like there could be a war going about. So they're like, oh well, we'll do this so that we won't have a war between the Rechners or whatever. So it's just tying in. So this is, I mean, what's so much better about like when you can go from Shadow Seduction to this.
yeah,
It's like this is tying in so many things that it's just she's done such a good job threading each of those through each book and then building on it each
yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like what I really liked about this setup. And then with CN being like hating her, blaming her for everything that her like she's a reincarnation, like she
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
remember any of that stuff. So yeah, so it was good. Like, and I mean, even though like it was kind of stuck in his where was it called, um I think it's Pandemonia. Like
Pandemonium,
I
yeah.
liked that setting too, even though they're there for most of it. It does open up and like near the end, and that's when I was like getting more excited.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, because I loved Pandemonia, and I really like this
mhm.
concept that he had a symbiotic relationship with the realm, and he was getting more beastly, but actually his emotions and everything controlled the
Yeah.
environment. And then all of the sort of the creatures that she should fear, like the sea serpents, and like
Hmm.
the hellhounds and the hellcats and everything, and she almost like befriends them, because at first they seem like
Yeah.
they fear some beasts, and she befriends them, and even like the spiders and stuff in the room that she's trapped in. At first, it's like, oh, really
Yeah.
creepy, and the spiders almost like become her friends, and it's very Disney princess, right, where she's almost like
Hmm.
friends with all the animals. So yeah,
Yeah, and she was like scared of spiders, but then she was like having to deal with the spiders, and she was just a very strong character when you think about how she'd been basically banished when she was really young and have to make it on her own, and now she's thrown in this situation, and she's like, what the heck am I supposed to do to make amends for something that I didn't do these things? And so those are the frustrating things that you're going to deal with that kind of hero of like, come on, like stop blaming her for stuff that she didn't do. But
yeah,
but it's understandable why he
yeah.
is the way he
It
is.
is, but then it's like, it's 10,000 years. It's like,
Yeah.
to hold a grudge. Like,
Yeah, that's one long grudge she's
first
holding.
century maybe, but 10,000 years later, you're still pissed off about it. It's like funny.
Yeah. Well, and I loved okay, hold on. Did I write his name down?
Are you going to say the dragon?
Yes. Okay. I'm like, what? I thought I wrote it down. Shoot.
I don't actually remember. I should have written his name down as well. But I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, because he was my favorite side character. And I just loved her interactions with him. And then obviously what he like near the end when everything's going down, like his part in it. Like I'm like, please give us like a dragon shifter romance, like that would be great. But I mean, he's always in his dragon form.
And
But
that's
yeah, I really loved him.
right, because I wrote that down. It's like, oh, like we don't find out why he refuses to come out of his dragon
Yeah.
form. So there must be a reason. What is it? And will we ever find out? Maybe one day, right?
Yeah, I really liked that. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. So I guess I don't even know if we need to do these, but I'll just put your thoughts on the hero. What did you think of Abyssian Infernus? What a name.
I know. Well, obviously, I really liked him, and I did. He's like the typical tortured hero, right? He's
Yeah.
fell in love with this girl, and she utterly betrayed him and broke his heart, and he's like been devastated. And this is what I mean. It's like 10,000 years later, and you're still devastated by this woman who broke your heart. And so I had loads of sympathy for him, and I just really liked his character. And then, of course, like you say, he was this portrayed as this like really handsome man, like really, really attractive, and now he's this beast character who's gonna become more beastly as time goes on, and he's almost like running out of time, right? It's like he's running out of time to not only like get his revenge but also find happiness, kind of thing. So I just really liked him, but I like his whole crew, right? So we've like, because he's part of the Morio, and I like that. And like you say, I like his friends and the dragon, and then his relationship with Rune as well, because that was very interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because Rune's got this massive vendetta against the Sylvan people, but their friendship is really solid, right? So they're like completely loyal to each other. So I really kind of
I
like
think
that.
the Moriar really stands out in these last couple books.
Yeah.
Like they've really been, I like that whole crew. I think they're all so unique and interesting. And you're just like, okay, I see what you're doing, Cressley. You're like, she's really introduced a cool group where you want them all to get books and everything. I did like that, like him and Rune, especially like near the end with Rune's like vendetta, and then him like he's like, you didn't even tell me, like, and he's like, and he would want to kill her. He would want to go after her, but he wasn't doing it for him. So I really liked that. So I liked the hero. He was frustrating at times, but he's supposed to be. He's a typical damaged, beastly hero, holding a grudge, and but I mean, it doesn't last too long. Like, I don't think it drags that out. I think he like is already just like obsessed with her, and kind of realizing, did I even have like this connection with her original whatever, I can't remember her name, but he has such a connection with her. They have amazing chemistry, and so I really liked him. I thought it was so sad how he like had cut off his horns for that woman, and she was like, I would never be with you, and for him to go to that length is just like, so I really liked his character. I thought he had a good grovel too, and good, at the end here, and kind of his own comeuppance for him, like not because he does some stupid shit. Like he does some stupid shit when he fully like locks her up in like the cell and everything, and it's like so that was dumb, but she shows him, like, and that's what part that I like really liked, which moved it up to a 5-star, was her being like, where the castle or whatever it was called basically calling to her and her getting, which I guess we'll just go on to this. What do you think of the heroine? I freaking loved her. Yeah. I think she was one of the top heroines I think that she's written, because she is such a like powerful move. And when, you know, she goes through a lot with him, she's really struggling, but trying to get him to see the bigger picture. And then when he fucks her over, it's like she doesn't just wallow in it. She does what she needs to do for her. And I loved her realizing, like, oh, I'm like actually one of the primordial type of things, because she's a reincarnation. And so she had more of a right to the throne than that Seth guy. Yeah. And then like her whole putting on his crown, and it was like his horns. And like, it just gave me the Maleficent, like badass with a crown, and her going to like take care of business, locking him out of hell. Yeah. Like all of that was just amazing. Like using the dragon to send her like FU message. Like, so when that all went down, I was like, okay, like I love this. Like she's definitely, she's up there. Like she's great.
Yeah, I agree. And I really liked her, again, her kind of like story arc in a way, because she starts out, like you say, as this like person who's been like kicked out of her kingdom, and she's now working at literally Magic Kingdom. Yeah. And she's just like hoping that that Seth guy is going to like bring her back and then marry her, and that's kind of what she wants. So you think, oh, she's a bit of a simp kind of thing at first. But then when she gets taken, and it's like the grit she shows, it's like, well, okay, I'm gonna, like, he puts her through a couple of like, you know, trials, I guess, and she kind of comes through them, and she overcomes her fears, and then she then kind of like realizes her power, and she comes into her power. And I really like that bit as well. I loved the castle, because it's like this thing, and he's like obviously trying to guide them in the right direction. And then, like you say, once he leaves and she figures out, actually, I'm the queen of hell. I can control this dimension as well, and I'm gonna lock him out. And I just thought that was brilliant. Yeah, I just loved it.
Yeah, it was really good. Like I thought that was a really exciting third act, and like so much going on in it. And so that really moved the book up for me. Like I thought it was just really good. And I liked, you know, I love him like already realizing he messed up. Like that's the thing with Cressley. She doesn't make them like be a dick too long or keep going with that. Like they'll usually realize, oh man, you know, like I did wrong. And him like talking through it with Rune and you know, them, like I love those scenes. So when they go and it's like the big battle and all that stuff going on, like it was really good. Like I had a really good time with this one. It's not my favorite because I still love Sweet Ruin the most, but I think it's definitely up there, and I can see why like it's your favorite, you know, like it's just got all those, it's just got so much like going on with like the Disney, the Beauty and the Beast, all those vibes that I think really make it like an exciting book.
Yeah. I think for me the difference was that Sweet Ruin was really close, but it was also quite dark, right, in terms of what the characters had to go through. Where this hero, he was tortured, but he wasn't that tortured. Like he'd been through a lot, but he hadn't been through that much. And so it felt slightly lighter and a little bit more fun. And I just, like you say, it was all the little Easter eggs and the whole like everything they put in there. Even like I can't remember, was it a reference to a Beyonce song or something? And
and they had to tell him that's what it was. That was so funny. They're like, he's like, what? Like it's a Beyonce song. Like
but he doesn't.
I think it was Rune's woman that told him or something, Joe. Like I think she was the one that knew, because
so it was really funny. He was totally clueless.
Yeah, that's what's good, is she has so much humor to her books, you know. So it's really funny. Like the characters all together are really great. I mean, Nyx is still doing what Nyx does. And that's like another thing at the end when she's like up to like Orion, like it's up to you now. Like it's on you. Like, and I just love that. So I mean, I think we all know with Nyx. So I thought that was really great. Yeah, I really loved it. I want more Moyer. So it's like I don't think like there's any more after this. It doesn't sound like, because it's going to go to Monroe, and then I think the Shadow one. Besides that, which one? So I'm like, I wonder. Now we're going to be like everybody else that has had to suffer waiting for the next Immortals After Dark book, because I'm like, I think she's doing a whole side thing now, like, and I'm like, wait, no, like,
because she's introduced so many characters, there's so many loose threads, and you think she's going to follow a thread, but she jumps to somewhere else, and she goes that way for a while, and then she comes back, and then it's like, I feel like there's, over the course of the series, so many couples we haven't had yet.
It's funny, when I was reading reviews, I think it was for Sweet Ruin, and somebody's like, oh, cue everybody sobbing because this isn't the book about the characters that they want it to be about. So now they're going to give 1-star reviews because this isn't about like the character they want, like Fury and this, and it's like she's doing some side. And what's crazy is she did some side characters I didn't know anything about, and it was my favorite book. So, I mean, Kresley knows what she's doing. Yeah, she's keeping us. It's also keeping us intrigued and coming back for more,
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're an author and you're doing this length of series, why tell us the stories we're waiting for? Keep us on the hook, right? Otherwise, she gave us the stories we wanted, and then randomly she brings out another one with random characters. We're like, oh, am I bothered?
Yeah. Well, and it's like, sometimes I can't imagine the pressure that she's under to like, we've been waiting for Nyx, we've been waiting for the Fury one. Like, it's like the pressure to like live up to the hype of like, I know there was like, when they were waiting for a long time for Monroe, it was like this constant talk about like, when's Monroe coming out? Like, because, it was like 4 books or something before she clued in on it on McGreeve, and then we had multiple books of like other characters. So
it's right in the time of writing, it jumps from like, I don't know, 2017 right up to
it'd be interesting to look at the years, like, because I'm like, I wonder when Monroe came out.
It was only a couple of years ago, because I remember Jen reviewing it.
Yeah, because it was like everybody was waiting for it. Like, I always heard about people, because I always heard the hype around this series, but I just never I was like, oh, that's a lot of books. And then I was, so that's why I did this whole thing, because I was like, I wanted to read it, and I wanted to like force myself to like stick with it, because I'm really bad at series. I will read one and then I'll jump to another one and then like forget to come back to this. And so like the Horde King series, I literally made that a goal this year to finish it, because I would jump to something else and then like never get back to it. And I'm like that with all my Mafia series, because there's so many Mafia series that it's so hard to like just stick with them.
Yeah.
Let's see, when did this come out? Oh, okay. This one says 2022. So yeah, so this was like, I wonder when the one before it came out, because it's like you wonder how long they were waiting.
It was a pretty big jump. I'm pretty sure it was like 2017 or something, and they ended up waiting like 5 years.
Because Wicked Abyss came out in 2017, so to wait from that to like 2022, that's like a long wait. It's not as long as the suffering for Game of Thrones. I don't know if you read those books, but I literally I can't with George R. R. Martin. Like, he needs to stop working on side projects and like making a prequel book that's an encyclopedia to the Targaryens. No. Finish the series. Like, I'm like, it's been like over 10 years or something. I feel like, I don't know. It's been a long time. And I'm like, he doesn't look the healthiest dude either. I'm like, come on, finish this book. Cause that's one of my biggest, I watched the show and I read the books, and like the show really it was one of my favorite shows of all time. I was way too invested. I looked up theories, did all these side things. Like, I became way too invested in that. And then what they did with the last season, made me so mad that I'm like, we need George R. R. Martin to come back and finish it so it's done like his way. Like, even if he decides to do it that way, like it'd be his way. Okay, I can respect it. But Anyways, that's a whole other rant. But yeah, so like waiting for those books, it's so long. But do you have anything else you want to say about Wicked Abyss?
Well, the only other thing I wanted to say was, again, one of the things I really liked, and it's on the Beauty and the Beast theme, is at the end he kind of has the ability to transform back into a handsome guy, and she's like, I don't actually like you like that. Can you be the Beast again? And so
that's
what
one of the best parts.
Loved about it was she was like, no, I just want you as the Beast.
Yeah, I feel like I'm cheating on you, or like with a whole different person if I'm with this like gorgeous guy, which I always was like kind of annoyed and watching Disney Beauty and the Beast when he turns back to a human. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Like I even as a kid, I wanted him to like
still be the Beast. Yeah.
So, and I love like those Beauty and the Beast retellings where it's like he's Beast the whole time, and I'm like, I love those. So that's the monster romance girl in me. But yeah, but I really liked that she loved him like for his beastly looks and all. So that made it even more, enjoyable.
Yeah, I love that. And then I really like the dragon guy, like you said, but also I just really like the castle. Because it was had that whole don't piss off the castle, and like don't say no 3 times, and then that whole like like the headpiece in the room that kept it kept coming back, and it's like, so obviously I really like those sentient inanimate objects almost that kind of like guide the story. But again, it felt kind of very magical and just very.
Yeah, it did. It was really cool. I loved how it was like revealing everything to her, and she really just has to like trust it, even though it's like putting herself in a weird, like it'd be kind of scary to do the things that she was just, doing. But it was basically accepting her, opening it like you're the queen of hell, like, type of thing. So I really, really liked that. I mean, again, so many nods to Disney and all these kind of magical, I don't know, it just felt different a little bit with that, than the other books. It felt a little bit more magical and fairy tale like. And so I really liked those aspects of it. Yeah. So I really loved it. Like, it was funny because at first I was like, oh, he's still hating her. We're still in hell. We're still like, and then like it just like started moving. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is like much better than I thought I was going to rate it at first. So yeah, I'm glad we found one that you rated 5 stars, because we were sitting at like the 4th star.
I'm really harsh, but then I was like, no, this one's it probably wasn't technically as good. Like Sweet Moon, I still think probably technically is better.
Yeah, but you don't like as much of the depressing dark stuff.
Yeah, and I do love dark stuff, but this one just ticked all my boxes because I just love the Beauty and the Beast vibe, and it was just giving me everything I really like. So I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Like,
yeah, it was really, really good. I think too, if you ever do get the audiobooks, you would really enjoy it too, because Robert does such a good job narrating those. Like, I'm at my mom's house and she just walked in. So yeah, so I had a great time with this. I'm really excited to get to Monroe. And I don't know if it has like time travel, it sounded like almost. So I don't know how I feel. I'm not always into like some time travel doesn't really work. But I don't know if that's really what's happening, but I don't know.
I remember, like I say, because I haven't read any of the books before, but I remember when Jen reviewed it a couple of years back, it did sound to me like it was a time travel, like he'd lost his fated mate in the past and he was trying to go back to get her.
He goes back in time, but I don't know how he does it to get her.
But then I wonder if it's anything to do with the key, that they originally found way back when. But also where we left off was he ends up getting kidnapped by those people. He ends up being put into a cell, and then the fated mate is with him in the cell, and he kind of forces her to turn to stay alive, and she doesn't want to.
Yeah, so that's what was like when that happened, and when I heard the time travel, I'm like, wait, I'm confused.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. We'll have to see when it gets to that book,
but I'm looking forward to that.
Hopefully he won't be as depressing. I don't think he'll be as depressing as McCreeve.
Hopefully not. He did seem more like the more sensible brother, right?
Yeah, I liked him in that book too, because he kind of was like trying to kick his butt, like, come on, get on board with everything. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing next month, Monroe, and then I can't remember the whole name, like Witch Queen of
Is it just called the Witch Queen of Halloween or something?
Halloween, okay, yeah. So those are the two we're gonna read, and then we just have the last one, and we're just doing one. I figured the way I like split it up is so for like one in December because it's holidays, and hopefully that'll be kind of easier. But yeah, so we're almost done. Thanks for sticking with me, Helen. And I'm glad we finally got a full 5-star for you. We did it.
Yay, we did. I only took 18 books. It was fine.
Well, we got there. I know it's hard for me now because I was like kind of wanting to do a ranking of them. And then I'm like, but I've given like quite a few 5 stars. I was like, how am I going to like rank those and figure out which is like, so that's kind of hard. But anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. If you're watching this later, feel free to comment. Let us know what you thought of this book, or if you're even reading these books. We just appreciate you guys sticking with us. But we're going to sign off. We did it pretty quick this time, but we didn't really need to talk about that first novella very much. So, all right. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you on the next live.
Bye.
Hold on. It's going to take a minute.